Hello, what's up YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking about how playing terrible games led to me actually loving Elden Ring. During the St. Jude Play Live 2024 challenge season, I wanted to participate, but I was struggling to think of a hook or what to even play. I reached out to a buddy of mine, Dan Ryckert from Giant Bomb, asking him if he had any suggestions for the worst games to play. Bad games for a good cause sounded like a pretty solid gimmick. He got back to me with a list that included gems like Red Hell Retribution, Overblood, and of course Sonic 2006. Sonic 2006 was so goddamn rough. I joked throughout the streams that this game came from a parallel dimension where video games were meant to be punishments. There's zero semblance of testing. When we got to the credits, I think there was probably 100 musicians and maybe like 4 people on quality assurance. And I had problems even trying to figure out how to get to the first mission. How am I supposed to get over there? Can I switch to Nimrod here? They really do a good job of explaining it. Speak of, the first mission is notorious in that if you manage to lose all of your lives, you have to restart from the opening cinematic. And maybe it's because I revisited a game that came out almost 20 years ago, but things like a lack of a mini-map would lead to me just wandering around aimlessly for a solid hour or two.
With the money, you can shop in town. Go to the stores often to
Yeah,
check out the new items.
Where am I supposed to find 100 rings here real quick? Tails, you got probably 2 kidneys. One of them's gotta fetch 100 rings. Whenever I'd wrap up a stream, I'd get a little intimidated because I'd take a look at the VOD and I'd see like 6 hours of footage. However, as soon as I started to trim out all the loading screens, good lord, there's so many of those. As soon as I'd trim out the loading screens, all the times I had to restart a mission, all of the times I had to sit through like the same cutscenes, do the same quests over again, I'd end up with a much more manageable video. And we'd go from like 6 hours to maybe an hour tops. The kicker is, even the game manual did a terrible job of explaining the controls. And each section would have you switching between characters and introducing new gimmicks, and you're sort of left to just figure things out. And on top of that, I would argue the first fight against Silver in the Sonic the Hedgehog campaign, probably harder than any of the base game Elden Ring bosses. You see, with Elden Ring or any of the Soulsborne games, it basically just comes down to figuring out their patterns, and if you're failing, you just grind some levels until you're golden, or maybe just swapping out your armor, playing around with amulets, things like that. Silver, though, Silver is just a big old pile of bullshit where you'd get constantly stun-locked and insta-killed. There'd be no chance to avoid it. Once again, combine that with having to sit through loading screens, watch cutscenes, more loading screens, and I'm pretty sure my community got to witness me lose my sanity in real time. I ended up basically having to exploit Silver's AI in order to win. He would use some sort of telekinesis power to launch stuff at you, so I would have to trap him near objects, so he would just keep using that, and then I finally got to win. He's gotta just be near chairs.
How about this?
I'm not falling for this one.
How about this?
Yeah! Wait. Is he not dead? The rest of the game wasn't too good either. Camera angles would invert controls. Things that should be intuitive, like if you jump and you get near a rail, you'd start grinding on it, just wouldn't happen. For a game that's all about going fast, Sonic or whoever else controlling would constantly get stuck on objects or just trip on things. I think I managed to lose rings running into a checkpoint. And there was one jump near the end of Sonic's campaign that had me combing through forums and YouTube videos, and it still took me nearly an entire stream. I don't know how to fucking jump over on that part. Like, I don't jump enough to clear it. I can't press X like mid-jump. Yeah, it's like right away on Reddit. First thing. Okay, I know Sonic 06 is a god-awful game, believe me I do. But I want to complete every Sonic game, and that includes this. Anyhow, I'm on Kingdom Valley not too long after the Silver bit. I'm Sonic again. I just homing and attack 2 robots under a rope, and I'm merrily jumping. There's a trail of rings in front of me, and I'm supposed to do a light speed dash. Only I can't do it. I line up perfectly, press forward, press the light speed dash button at just the right height, and nothing works. I've died at every time I've played this level. I've got to bounce high enough on the rope and then ring dash. All in all, Sonic 2006 took me roughly half a month to complete. It was my goal to complete all 3 campaigns, and then the final bonus campaign, where you end up controlling literally every character. It was the worst. Sonic 2006 managed to teach me a lot about patience. I figured if I could sit through boss fights with terrible hitboxes, sections with weirdly precise jumps, a couple awful puzzles, and a lot of NPC interactions that made no sense, I could probably get through anything. This led to me finally trying out Elden Ring. As of this recording, I've completed the base game, and I'm just about to dive into the DLC. For starters, things in Elden Ring just make sense by comparison. Sure, some of the quest lines are intentionally vague, but it felt fun to track down and stumble onto each part. The first couple of hours of Elden Ring were a little overwhelming. There were guides available. The mini-map would give you an idea of where to go for the main quest line. And the controls and combat system flow. It was a night and day experience. I probably ended up with well over 2,000 deaths. A decent chunk of those were from exploring and falling off of stuff, and I'm pretty sure a lot of them were from fighting Melania. I tried to show off my skills a little bit and tried to fight Melania with no summons. I ended up having to use Tish to get through that. And the thing about Elden Ring, or just like the Soulsborne genre, is they reward good gameplay, and you get a hit of that sweet, sweet dopamine. It was the polar opposite of Sonic 2006. In summary, playing Sonic 2006 and some other really terrible games along the way led to me getting real close to an Elden Ring Platinum. I just have to get all the endings and I'm good to go. And if you dug me yapping, subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and drop a comment. Thank you so much for listening.